Manawai good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner here with another Captain and Coffee morning report for January 8th, 2025. Let's just say last night I went to bed early. I had an actual script written out for all of the awards, the team awards were given out. But then I woke up this morning. There's that script. I don't need it anymore. Why? Because we have a few more important things to talk about this morning. The 49ers have removed Nick Sorensen as the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. I don't think he's officially fired, unless they fired him just specifically for the role, because they do want him back still with the team. Whether or not that would come back as what he was before he was the ball czar, which is what Brandon Staley is currently. We don't know, or maybe even special teams. He has been a special teams coordinator before. But as far as being the defensive coordinator, we made the right decision, and he is no longer going to be the defensive coordinator. He had to go. This defense was the worst defense since Shanahan has taken over. There was just so many issues with this defense. It was so uncreative. It was just bad. I don't understand why some of the players, Fred and Bosa have come out in support of him. Are they in support of him simply because he's a familiar face in the building? Or is that just because he lets them do what they want? Because you look at last year, they were pretty much publicly criticizing Steve Wilks and the way he was calling plays. But Steve Wilks had this defense playing at a very top tier level, whereas this year, Sorensen kind of looked like he let them run the inmates run the insane asylum kind of thing, and yet the defense was absolutely pathetic at times. Gave up a touchdown in the fourth quarter every game. I don't know how many times we went to the fourth quarter with a lead and we ended up giving it up. And yet they're constantly praising him. So I don't understand any of that, why the players are so high on him, when it's obvious this team has been, the defensive side has just been abysmal for this last season. So again, Nick Sorensen out as a defensive coordinator. As far as who to replace him with, personally, I want Jeff Ulbrich. I think he would be a nice one to bring over. Obviously, a former player, former player for the Niners. He's been maturing in that role. Even had a short stint as interim coach for the Jets, while after Robert Saleh was let go early in the season. Speaking of Saleh, I don't see Saleh back. Yes, I think Saleh would be probably the top choice for most people. I just don't see Saleh coming back. Saleh right now has got some niche offensive coordinator position with the Green Bay Packers, where he's does like a breakdown of the other team's defense and he presents it to the offense, which I think for him personally is a great thing, because it has him working with the opposite side of the ball than what he's really used to on the offensive side. So again, he's a defensive coordinator by trade, so it's kind of a niche thing. Also, for those of you guys that don't know, him and Matt and LaFleur, they're best men in each other's weddings. They are best friends, literally. That's their boy, that's their homie. So even though he might have had more success being the defensive coordinator for Kyle Shanahan, and they might have had the world's best working relationship, they could have been work besties, whatever. He's not your boy. It's like at the end of the day, that's still a boss. You can get along with your boss great, but sometimes if given the choice, you're going to help your boy out. So it's not a given that he's going to stay in Green Bay. I just don't see him coming back here to the Bay. So we'll see how I say come back to the Bay like I'm here, and I'm not up here in Seattle. But anyway, so that's all with that. Again, I think it's the right decision. We had to do something with Sorensen. The defense was so uncreative. There was hardly any blitz packages. We didn't do much stunting until the last few games of the week or of the season, but even then, it just wasn't enough by the end. So again, great move by Kyle. Kind of interesting to see how, because now he's got to replace both of the other coordinators, because he's the offensive coordinator. So we'll see what's up with that. Also of note from yesterday, we did sign 4 more players to future/reserve contracts. 2 offensive linemen, Isaac Alarcon, and then offensive lineman Jalen McKenzie. Then we also signed receivers Russell Gage and Isaiah Hodgins. Russell Gage has been here. I want to say he was here 2 years ago. And then I've seen some track with people who are very up on Hodgins because of his speed. And so we'll see. Again, future reserve contracts for those 4 players, plus the 11 I believe we had from yesterday. So this team's already being built for next year, or next season. So it's good to see that we're not wasting any time with any of that. Ron Carthon, former GM here at the with the Niners, was let go as the GM of the Titans yesterday after only 2 years. I don't understand the thought process between letting a GM go after only 2 years, unless the only thing I can think of is that the drafting of Will Levis was just that bad to them eternally. Maybe he put all his eggs in a basket as far as it goes with Levis, and that's really not working out all that great. So the only thing I can really think of is why you would think that with 2 years and you need a full flip over and everything. So I don't understand that. About as much sense as it makes for the Jags to get rid of Doug Peterson but keep Trent Baalke. We all know how that worked before last time an owner decided to keep Trent Baalke over a coach, but not our problem anymore. As far as the rest of the day, excuse me, Lynch and Shanahan will be having their end of year presser now that they've got some of this movement done today at 11:30. So I will be definitely watching that. If you guys want to watch also, you can watch the presser on any of their social media platforms. I'd say probably the easiest place is probably going to be YouTube, so I'm going to watch that. So we'll see you guys there if you're there. If not, Not Afraid for Radio, we don't have anything else going on today. We don't have anything going on until Friday, actually, when we do our weekend review show. Or this week's weekend review show is basically going to be, I'm just going to kind of go over dates to look forward to for the off season moving forward up until the start of next season. So, all right, faithful. Again, DC's Nick Sorensen has been removed from his position. I don't think he's technically fired because I think unless they fired him from the position, but they're trying to bring him back in some other role. And what does that mean for Brandon Staley? I didn't think about that till right now. Does he possibly become a defensive coordinator? I know a lot of people liked Nick Fangio, his style of defense. Well, the closest thing you're going to get to a Vic Fangio type defense in the NFL right now is going to be one that's run by Brandon Staley. So if you really want that, he can debate how much Staley was part of this defense, but the leader of the defense from the coaching perspective and the one who called the plays was Nick Sorensen. So I don't think necessarily this is a fault from him. But again, we will see what's up with that, and we will see you all tomorrow morning, faithful. 5 for Tattletale Lover. One love.